Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound, where we are going to discover the value of some of your coins. And today we have a really nice one here for you. One in which there is a ton of possibilities. You just need to know what to look for, right? So today we're going to take a look at the 1968 Roosevelt dime. Everybody's probably least loved coin denomination out there today. But I tell you what, if you are overlooking Roosevelt dimes in general, you're making a huge mistake because there's a lot of value, there's a lot of coins to be found. We're going to start it off today with the 1968 date, one in which has a lot going for it. But before we get started, as always, share, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. We're going to be doing giveaways all summer long. You'll want to take part in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be my way of giving back to my subscribers and to the patrons, so make sure you do that. So let's go ahead and get started with just kind of a little rundown on the couple of different mint marks that you'll find in change. You're going to want to know exactly which one is the Philadelphia, which one's the Denver minted coin, and they're going to have a little bit of uniqueness. So let's go ahead and start with the Philadelphia minted coin that you see here. We're used to seeing little mint marks on the coins. In the earlier days of the Roosevelt dime, they did not put a P mint mark on these dimes. Okay, the 1968 still fits that description of a coin that never had a mint mark. All right, so the regular business strike coins will not have a Philadelphia P mint mark on there. Mintage wise, a ton of these were produced, okay, to the tune of 424,470,400 pieces were produced by the mint. So there's absolutely no shortage. But what I can tell you about this particular coin is that not a lot of people preserved any of the later 1960s dimes in pristine shape, primarily due to the fact that at this time, silver had run its course in 1964. Then the U.S. Mint converted over to this copper nickel clad composition in which not a lot of people cared too much about it. And the same can be said with every other coin in any other denomination during this time period. Now let's talk a little bit about grade. Okay, a lot of folks like to grade these coins at the highest possible level. The highest grade in the 1968 P is 67 full bands, or full torch. You're going to have fully defined lines that separate each set of bands on the reverse where that torch is. All right, there are 9 examples graded at this level. And then the highest priced coin in the 68 P with full bands actually was on Heritage Auctions for $1,116. And this one sold in December of 2013. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Denver variant of this coin. On this particular example, you'll see a small little tiny letter D right above the date. Okay, that'll let you know that you have a Denver minted example. All right, again, no shortage on the mintage. The U.S. Mint produced 480,748,280. So there's quite a few of them out there. Where, on the Philadelphia minted example, I say that not a lot of people preserved this coin. It seems to me that there are more like higher mint state grades of a 68D in the marketplace. Furthermore, you're going to come across more well-struck 68Ds than you would the Philadelphia variant. That's good to know, and it shows in the actual grading population reports. The high grade for this particular coin through PCGS is 68 with full split bands, in which there are 9 examples graded at that level. The highest priced coin to sell at this level was $1,380 on Heritage Auctions way back in January of 2004. There's just not a lot of these out in the marketplace. You very seldom hear of new examples coming out at a 68 full bands. So it's kind of a unique coin. Okay, we haven't seen too many more recent examples that have sold for less money. Okay, and they're few and far between. So it is all around, whether it's a Philadelphia or a Denver minted coin, two of the most difficult coins to find in full split bands, primarily because of the overall quality of the dies and the strikes during that time period. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few notable errors that have sold on heritage auctions here in recent memory. Now we're going to go back maybe about 10 years, okay, to kind of give you an idea of what you could find out there. Believe it or not, a few of these coins have been found in the wild, out in circulation. So keep an eye on these. And it's always good to know exactly what a certain error or coin look like, so that way when you look at it in person, you'll know exactly how to diagnose it. So the first one here, and we're going to start in the least expensive, and I have 3 coins to show you, is the 1968D. Okay, this particular example is missing that nickel clad layer on the obverse. Okay, so it looks like almost like a penny, you know, after it's been oxidized for a while. But, you know, these have a copper nickel clad composition. So once you eliminate one layer of the nickel, all you're exposed with is complete copper. Okay, so this one right here is missing that layer. This one graded Annex, mint state 60, and this one sold on heritage auctions December 6th, 2011 for $89. All right, so that's about how much you would expect to get for a coin like this. Much the same fashion as this particular coin. If I did find a really nice error and you don't want to spend a lot of money on the actual authentication part of it, send it to Annex. It's inexpensive. They turn around your grading processing relatively quicker compared to like NGC or PCGS, because they get higher volumes of submissions. So that's the missing clad layer 68D. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next one here. And it's another 68D. In the case of this one's pretty unique. It's interesting. This one was struck on a defective planchet. So it clamshelled, and then it's split apart, and then you have actually 2 separate pieces. Now this coin right here only has 1 piece. Okay, so after, you know, like the reverse shears off the thing because the planchet was a bad quality, then you're left with what appears to be 2 obverse images. Okay, and that's simply just the strike going through the coin, and you know, it's showing up as another obverse on the reverse, only it's backwards. It's in kind of like mirror image, I guess. So this one right here graded Annex, mint state 60, much like the previous coin, and this one sold January 9th of 2011 for $138. All right, so coins like this that traditionally can be passed up as damage or something, you know, comparable to that. That's money that people are leaving off the table. But as you know, people who kind of like the searching component of going through change, these are a couple of great examples of coins that you could pull out of pocket change or coin roll hunting and make a few bucks on. Okay, it's definitely worth the extra effort. So we have one more error I wanted to show you, and it is a remarkable piece right here. Okay, you don't hear too much about some of the later date 1960s coins, especially in a dime, quarter, or half dollar, still being struck on one of those old 90% silver planchets. All right, so silver ended in 64, and then we converted to a copper nickel clad composition in 65. So to find one 3 years later, this dime right here, the 68D, that was struck on a 90% silver planchet is really, really scarce. This coin, however, right here was found in change. Okay, you know how I know? Take a look at the grade. NGC, about uncirculated 55. This thing has definitely seen some play out in commerce. It was probably spent at the Mel's Diner up the street, maybe, you know, at some other restaurant here, at the gas station getting a pack of smokes. This thing has gone through many hands before someone got, you know, kind of curious enough to say, oh, you know what, this is silver, but it's 1968. It's weird. This is a true mint error, okay? This one sold on heritage auctions May 29th of 2009 in the amount of $5,750, guys. Wow. Did you guys know that this coin right here is worth this kind of money? Imagine finding it in change. Okay, it's kind of life-changing, you know. This will pay, you know, a few months of rent. This will take care of some of those pesky credit cards that we all love to hate. there's so much you could do with $5,000 just by looking at your change. Okay, but if you think that's huge, okay, we're going to end it off on what is known to be the number one coin in coin collecting today, especially in moderns. Okay, this is actually on Q. David Bauer's book of top 100 modern coins. This is like a top 5 coin right here. I don't traditionally talk about proof coins because I like to talk about coins that we can find in change. However, you cannot talk about the 1968 Roosevelt dime without talking about the no S proof Roosevelt dime. Okay, it's a 1968. This coin right here is worth a boatload of money. Okay, it's not only is it worth a boatload of money, it's worth the boat. Okay, the highest priced example to sell of this coin was on Heritage Auctions September 14th, 2006 in the amount of $48,875. Now that's the high sale price, and although this coin sold 13 years ago, other coins that have come up since then that have sold on like Heritage Auctions or Legend Morphe or some of these big auction houses online have sold in the neighborhood of $17,500 to as high as $30,000. Okay, and these come in both just regular proof and also cameo. All right, the cameo examples are going to be worth more money, but as you can see on this coin, this is a proof coin and not a Philadelphia coin. It's going to have the mirrored finish on it. So the only place you could find this coin would be in the proof sets. All right, just so that there's no mistaking, because someone will attempt to kind of, they'll comment below and say, I got a 68 no S, I want to sell it. Well, you got to make sure if it's the business strike regular circulating piece that doesn't have a mint mark, that's a Philadelphia coin. Whereas on the proof strike, it's going to have the mirrored fields, and it's going to come right out of the proof set. And those are the rare, valuable ones. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up on the 1968 Roosevelt dimes. Hope it's worth it for you to come check it out. There's a lot of neat coins we talked about today. And as always, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all the views and support. This channel wouldn't have happened without my fabulous patron and subscriber base. I want to thank everyone for joining in. You guys have a wonderful day, and keep hunting. That's right. That's what we do.